Okay, so how many of you guys like sea animals? Like seals, turtles, birds, and just any sea animals, right? They're so cute. Well, guess what? This is what's happening to them right now. Look how sad that seal is. I mean, isn't that sad when you look at a turtle? It can't live its own life, its normal life. The plastic that you use or buy at the grocery store impacts so many sea life. And as you can see, the bird here has ingested a lot of plastic that it couldn't digest. So the problem is only getting worse. Too many people are not recycling. According to Conserve Energy and Future, plastic pollution negatively impacts the natural environment and create problems for plants, wildlife, and even human population. Although recycling doesn't seem like much because it's affecting another part of the world and not your everyday life, it actually does a lot. So today I'll be talking to you about why you should all recycle. So understanding the problem, being aware of our action, and using the 3 R's, which are reduce, reuse, and recycle, will help save the earth. So without a doubt, not recycling impacts the amount of plastic pollution that affects the water, air, and living beings. According to PNAS, plastic waste affects wildlife by 2 means: entanglement and ingestion. Plastic ingestion may reach 99% of all species by 2050. So that means all your dogs will be infected too, and we would all be infected as well. And according to water research, plastic debris is also likely to cause freshwater biodiversity loss and poses a threat to human health through fish and water consumption. So if y'all like sushi, the fish can be like infected too. So if you eat that, you're gonna be like harmed as well. And then water consumption, of course, if the water is like filled with all these chemicals in it, you're like drinking it. And lastly, according to Nest, landfills will become too massive and too toxic. So if you don't recycle, all the trash and the items that can be recycled will be piled up away in a landfill, and these chemicals will be released to the air, which raises the ozone and increases global warming, and it happens faster. So by not reducing, reusing, and recycling, we are destroying natural habitats. So for example, the trees will be cut down faster than it can regrow, thanks to people who don't recycle paper and other wood materials or products. But despite that, luckily there are many ways that you guys can improve the world and environment with simple things, such as recycling your cans and bottles. You can actually gain some money. I know everything at this age is all about the hustle, right? You want to make some money, and by doing this, you can save some extra cash, and you can go to your local community recycling programs or purchase like products made from recycled materials. According to Africa News Services, using more reusable items will help save resources and also send less trash to the landfills, which helps reduce air and water pollution. So when you go to the grocery store, you don't really remember to bring a tote bag, right? But in this case, you should, and this like reduces the amount of plastic bags you have to bring home when you can just bring 1 bag to the grocery store and 1 bag back. Another way is by using, by using a reusable water bottle. I actually forgot mine over there, so luckily you're like promoting recycling, you know? Like how many times can you use a plastic water bottle? Usually people buy a plastic water bottle, use it once and drink all the water and toss it away. Even though you think that you're doing a good deed by like not littering, but in another world, it's affecting these animals and the entire world in general. Another way is by buying products made from recycled material. Doing so will help keep the cycle going so we can preserve more materials from being made. As a result, you can imagine the future safer, cleaner, and more sustainable. So imagine if we all recycled, no one didn't recycle. Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be amazing? There would be more long-lasting materials. Recycling would reduce demands for scarce resources. For example, the demand for cutting down trees for paper, it would be lower if we all recycle because we keep on reusing. So that cycle will continue. Of course, animals would be safe and it doesn't have to die in this sad way. Makes you cry. And animals don't have to die by being entangled by plastic either. So in conclusion, we need to start recycling. Too many people do not recycle. And recycling doesn't really take much. The first step is by changing your mindset and thinking about your future steps and how it would impact the world in the future and not just the present life and not just your present daily life. So reduce, reuse, and recycle will help all that is impacted by plastic pollution. So the next time you visit a grocery store, make sure to bring like a tote bag, a reusable bag, or maybe if you're thinking of buying like a water bottle or a plastic water bottle, maybe purchasing a reusable water bottle. Recycling is actually very, very simple. The hardest part is to commit and be consistent because sometimes it might be inconvenient, but we've been careless up to the point with the way we treated the earth. And it's time to change, not just the way we do things, but the way we think. Thank you.